Welcome to another one of our lunch break summer topics. We'll do some quick introductions from the staff and students in the room, and then we'll turn it over to Emmy Borst and Chris Denonis from LHU Housing for today's presentation. We'll allow any questions for Emmy or Chris, and then at the end we'll allow any questions that anybody may have on any LHU topic. Feel free to put those in the chat, or at the end, if you want to unmute yourself and ask the questions, you can feel free to do that as well. So I'm going to allow the LHU folks in the room to introduce themselves. I'll do it first, and then it looks like the order I have on my screen, it would be Emmy, Trinity, Chris, Johnny, and then Rose. So in that order, I'll allow you folks to introduce yourselves. For those that don't know me, my name is George Ruszczyk. I'm the Associate Director of Student Affairs for Lock Haven University, and I coordinate the summer orientation programs. Emmy?
Hi, I'm Emmy Borst. I'm one of the assistant directors for Student and Residence Life, and my primary role is a resident hall director, here at Lock Haven University.
Hi everyone, my name is Trinity Wursler. I graduated from LHU last May, and I currently work on the Clearfield campus as an advisor for student activities and residence hall manager.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Denonis. I'm also an Assistant Director of Student and Residence Life here at Lock Haven, and I'm also a Residence Hall Director.
Hi, everyone. I'm Johnny. I'm a senior here at Lock Haven, and throughout the year, I'm a Residence Assistant in Fairview Suites.
It's my pleasure to turn it over to Emmy and Chris at this point for their presentation, What to Pack and Living Away from Home.
Okay, so as you can see, obviously, we are here to discuss what to pack and how to build your nest here at Lock Haven University, and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so as Chris and I said, we work in the Department of Student and Residence Life for the Division of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs.
Okay, that's me. My name is Chris Denonis. I'm originally from Franklin, PA. I have a bachelor's in anthropology from Edinburgh University. I have a master's degree in counseling with student personnel services as a concentration, also from Edinburgh University. I'm a co-director of Fairview Suites. I'm also the Residence Hall Association advisor. I have 13 years of professional experience, 4 here at LHU. Outside of work, I enjoy playing music, reading, hiking, and volunteering.
And as I said, I'm Emmy Borst. I have my bachelor's and master's in political science from the University of Rhode Island and a master's in education from here at Lock Haven University. I've worked here for 12 years and have managed most of the halls on campus with the exception of Fairview. And my husband and I live with our 2 children, pictured here. Ida May is 4 and Harrison is 6. And just what you want to go through, what we're going to get through today is what to pack and what to keep home. Obviously, those are some big items on everybody's to-do list. And then how living on campus will be different from living at home. If we've got any parents or support people from home, how they can help your transition. And then intermixed in there are some key insights from current students.
Okay, we're going to start off with what to pack. Some of the things that we consider extremely important for our incoming students are state government issued ID cards, Social Security cards, if you're going to do employment, health insurance cards, banking cards, and a small first aid kit. And some comfort items, refrigerator, microwave oven, single cup coffee makers. Those are typically known in the industry as Keurig machines. Plates, utensils, bowls, cups, and things like that. We also want you to bring in some cleaning and miscellaneous items. You have to clean all those dishes and things like that. Laundry items, detergent, bring a trash can, dish cleaning items. storage bins, air fresheners, and general items like disinfectant and things like that. Some more important things, you're going to need a way to get your books around. A book bag is everyone has them. Get on board with that. Supplies, pens, notebooks, etc. Your laptop, computer, alarm clock, fan, surge protector, and we'll talk about surge protectors here in a few minutes. Of course, you're going to need clothing, pajamas, shoes, etc. All the basic essential stuff. Bathrobe, wardrobe, shower shoes, light jacket, hoodies, and things like that for this time of the year. If you know you're not going to go back home until Thanksgiving, I would say bring a heavier jacket with you. But if you plan on going home in the meantime, maybe you can get away with that for now. Bath and hand towels, bedding, small area rugs, decorations, things like that. Just a special note about the bed sizes. Fairview Suites beds are extra twin long, and all their beds on campus are standard twin. All right, some of the things that we don't want to bring, I'm not going to go through this, it's a very exhaustive list, but some of the things that we want you to leave at home, anything that has a flame on it, candles, incense, I know incense doesn't typically have a flame on it, but it's got a burning coal, wax warmers, anything with an exposed heating element, cooking appliances, you can check with us, but most of them that have toasters, toaster ovens, hot plates, skillets, we want you to leave all that stuff at home. Extension cords, this is where we talk about we don't want extension cords. We actually would rather you use surge suppressors, and I'll show you some about that in a second here. We will leave the weapons at home, leave the alcohol at home, leave the space heaters, air conditioners. If you have problems with the heating and cooling in your room, please talk to your RA or your hall director. Again, leave the illegal drugs and drugs paraphernalia at home. Dartboards and steel tip darts, they just cause a lot of damage to our walls, and we'd rather them not be here. Amplified instruments are another one that cause a problem in our community because it's a noise issue, so we would rather not have those. We don't want those here. You can use headphones instead. If you have a small amplifier that has headphones and you're playing music, use headphones. And let's leave the explosives and fireworks at home. And a new one for us is self-adhesive LED strip lighting. This is a new thing on the market where it's strip lights that actually has the adhesive already built into it. This causes a large amount of damage to our walls. And we'd rather not have that damage. And just a reminder that damages caused by things like that are the student's responsibility. And if we can kind of avoid that going into it, we can save a lot of heartbreak later when you get that big bill for damage. Okay, real quick, while I have me on the screen. These are extension cords that are typically the ones that we see. This is the classic white two-prong 3-outlet extension cord. It comes in a variety of colors. Just because I say that it's a white one doesn't mean that the brown one's allowed, because the brown one is also the same. We don't allow those. And it also comes in festive green for the Christmas folk. None of these, of course, are allowed. When we say extension cords, we mean really all extension cords, even if it's a 3-prong one that's heavy duty that your grandpa used in the shop or whatever, still not something we want here, okay? Especially, and even if it's the one that's orange that your dad used on the job site and he says it works, it's still an extension cord and it's not something we'd like to have. We still see a variety of these small devices. These are what are typically called a 3-to-2. It has a grounded on one side and a 2-prong on the other. These are for old style wiring in older houses. There's absolutely no need for these to come with you to college. We have a grounded system. It works well. There's no need to bypass that system. Also, we see a lot of these. These are called power taps. Three outlets, 1 plug. They come in a variety of colors as well. These are also things that we'd rather you leave at home. They have no ability to protect. So we'd rather those not be here. They also come in varieties like this. And just because it has a little red light on it somewhere doesn't necessarily mean that it's protecting. This one is basically taking 2 outlets and drawing the power off of one. It's called a power tap, and that's not something we like. When we get into surge suppressors, we get into a few little fancy items. This is a little cute little guy. It's a 3-outlet one, and you might think, well, Chris, that looks like a surge suppressor. It's actually not. It's just an extension cord that's made to look like one. It has no surge, has no protection in it at all. And even this one too, which has, I don't know if you can see it or not, but has a cute little pink and white braid on it, designer or not. It's still just an extension cord. So what can you use? This is what we want you to use. This is a wired surge suppressor multi-tap. This one has 6 outlets on them. You can get them in a variety of lengths. This one just happens to be a short one, about 3 feet, but they come in like 10 to 20 foot lengths, more than enough to get around your room. Understand in Fairview Suites, we have 2 plugs pretty much on every wall, and we're overplugged probably in most cases. So, and a lot of times people will only use these devices for convenience. So if we're going to use a surge suppression device like this, we'd rather you use the one that has the ability to protect your products and keep from fire from happening and things like that. And this will, if you get one of these, you won't have any issue from us. You won't get any comment from us about it at all. We'll say, have a nice day. Because this is what we really want, not any of the other stuff that I just previously showed you. Thank you. Okay, so general packing tips. The basic mantra for packing is pack light. The less you bring, the less you have to take home or discard later because you don't know how to get it home or whatever. So bring essentials. You don't have to bring everything all at once. Let's bring the essentials that you need to get started and get yourself through the first couple of weeks and stuff, and then you'll find the things that you may need later on, okay? Just a bit of advice, try to remove large items. Sorry about that. We were going to go back to that for a second. Just try to remove large items from the cardboard boxes at home if possible. If you're going to transport stuff like a refrigerator, a TV, and cardboard box, let's consider taking it back home with folks, and then they can bring it back up at the end of the year. We can pack it up and take it back home. But if you're just going to bring them up here and not use them or discard them, we'd rather you try to make it a little easier on our system and not bring so much cardboard. Okay. Fairview Suites has some additional amenities. So in that regards, there's some additional packing tips that we'd like you to consider. Since we have a bathroom, we'd like you to consider having a shower mat. Here's some things that you might consider. Bathroom rug, hand soap, hand towel, toilet paper, toilet plunger. The residents are responsible for providing their own toilet paper in Fairview Suites. We do provide a shower liner and the hooks on the shower. Bathroom cleaning supplies are also a nice touch. The living area in Fairview Suites has, in a private suite, has an unfinished living area that has an additional cable outlet. You might want to put a small TV in there, make it a little setup. You could put a little TV, a little table and chairs there. Sometimes people put their fridges and microwaves out there to get them out of their smaller rooms. And one second here. And in a bedroom, just a few other considerations here. You can see we have window blinds already installed, but some folks like to use curtains, a curtain rod or something like that. We prefer that you use tension rods. Any other ones that we've seen end up damaging the walls, and again, you'd be responsible for that. If you have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out to us prior to drilling any holes or putting any nails in the wall. And the walls in Fairview Suites are made of drywall. This is unique to Fairview Suites. Most of the other buildings have brick walls. So poster hanging strips are installed in the rooms. However, people like to put stuff in other areas. Hanging items other than using on any other thing than what we provide can cause damages. Of course, those can be billed to the student. If you have any questions on things like that, please reach out to us.
Okay, thanks, Chris. So obviously, I think most of you can recognize that living at home is going to be very different than living here at Lock Haven University. You know, some of you are used to taking care of your own food. Some of you, you know, another member of the house will go ahead and cook all of your food for you. You get to walk right downstairs or right to the kitchen, wherever that's located in your home, and open up the fridge and grab what you want at any time of the day. You know, we see an awful lot of first-time students coming to the university that don't know how to do their own laundry because they've always had it done for them. If you're at home, someone may be helping to make sure that you're waking up for school. Someone may also be kind of looking over your shoulder, making sure that you're doing your schoolwork. There may be multiple people in your household. Some students have younger siblings, older siblings, parents, guardians. Some people live with a lot of different generations of their family. Obviously, we know that households are very different depending on who you are, but you may be sharing a bedroom. You may have a bedroom all to yourself. You may have a whole wing of your house to yourself as a young adult. You know, some of you will be shocked at how much cleaning you're going to have to want to do, or you're going to want to do, to keep your space clean. Some of you that may be new. Maybe somebody else in your house cleans your room for you, picks up things around the house for you, those kinds of things. A lot of times at home, your maintenance situation is going to be to tell somebody else, right? Most of us are not going to be doing our own maintenance unless you happen to know how to do all of that. And then the mail is going to come right to your door in most cases. Some people would have a P.O. box, but for the most part, I think most people get mail directly to their homes. Well, that's going to be different than here at Lock Haven University. Most of you will have a roommate or a suite mate, depending on what building you're living in, and you're going to have to share a pretty small space. For some of you, that's going to be no big deal. You already do it. For others of you, it's going to be a big change. You've never maybe had to share a bedroom or a bathroom. For those of you that don't live in an apartment complex, you may never have had an issue with noisy neighbors or neighbors of any sort, depending on where you live and what your situation is. Here at Lock Haven, you're going to be surrounded by a lot of neighbors. Depending on what building, you're going to be sharing a building of anywhere from about 100 students all the way up to, you know, over 600 students. So you're going to have a lot of neighbors to deal with, and we want to make sure that you recognize that's going to be a different situation for you. A lot of times those neighbors are going to become your best friends. I know that was my case way back in the day, and I know that most of our students will say that they become very close with the students that live around them. Some of you, like I said, are not going to be used to cleaning a room or a bathroom, and you're going to be responsible for that. If you live in the traditional buildings, obviously our bathrooms are cleaned by our custodial staff. They do a phenomenal job of keeping everything clean and tidy and sanitized and all of that. But those of you that are going to choose to live in Fairview will be responsible for cleaning your own bathrooms. And the hall staff do check that to make sure that we don't have anything growing and any health concerns. But if you don't already know how to clean a bathroom, you might want to start learning now. Nobody's going to be waking you up for school. That's going to be all on you. So make sure that you've got a schedule set for yourself. And the RAs will help with some of that. They'll provide some different programs to help with time management and those things, but ultimately the responsibility falls to you once you get here. Same for doing schoolwork and balancing work and fun. We certainly want you to have lots of fun, and you will have lots of fun when you come, but you want to make sure that you find that balance that works for you so that you're getting good grades and can continue while you're also having fun. So, but again, all of that responsibility falls on you. Nobody else is going to be holding your hand through the process to say, okay, did you do your schoolwork before you're hanging out with your friends down in the lobby of Fairview. Again, laundry, if you don't already know how to do laundry, I would recommend probably figuring that out this summer, taking the time and having someone teach you how to do your laundry. We have our laundry system is more like a laundromat, where you can either use coin or your or Haven dollars, and the money will come off your ID card, but it's all per load pricing in a common laundry room in each building. Maintenance needs. It's going to be really important that if you have any maintenance needs in your residence hall, that you contact the staff immediately. We're not going to know that the light on your desk is out unless you tell us, and that's what myself and Chris and the other hall directors and our resident assistants like Johnny, that's what we do. We want to make sure that everything is in good working order for you. So you're going to have to make sure that you're reporting that really clearly to the hall staff. For mail, you will get regular postal service mail that are not packages, so just envelopes and that kind of thing will come directly to your residence hall. Each residence hall has a bank of mailboxes and right in the lobby of each building, and you'll be assigned one of those with a key that's just for you. It's kind of like a P.O. box situation, but it's the nice convenience is right in your lobby. If you do have packages, those get mailed to our mailroom, and you'd have to go pick that up. They send you an email and say, hey, you've got a package here, come pick it up. But the nice part about Lock Haven is it's very small, so it's not a huge long haul to get any of the packages that you may have. For those people that may want to support you from home, if there's anybody on the Zoom or if anybody else watches this later, these are some really big key items that have been given to us from current students about what they wish they had from home. And the big thing is that prior to getting here, helping to develop some of these skills is going to be really important. Independent problem solving, figuring out how to make things work, who you need to talk to, know, and utilize resources on campus. All of these orientation sessions are designed to give you the list of people and places that you can utilize if you've got issues on campus, and we really all are here for you. The great thing if you're going to be living on campus is all of the hall staff can get you in contact with any of the resources on campus. That's a big part of our job is to, even if we don't have the answer, we know who to get you in contact with. Support people are going to want to make sure that they're encouraging students to get connected on campus, whether that's within the residence halls, whether that's through student activities, in academic clubs, classes, getting connected to faculty. The more connected you are, as far as the more people you know on campus, the better off you're going to be, because you're going to know who to go to if you've got some questions. It's going to be really important that support people getting phone calls from the students are learning the difference between venting and then needing a solution, and trying to help the students work through those solutions on their own, as opposed to just giving them the answer. Or whatever that you think the solution would be. We really want to cultivate that students be able to live on their own. That doesn't mean that they're all by themselves, but making sure that students really are able to work out some of those problems on their own. Venting, obviously we all need to vent, and that's great, but maybe try not to just solve all the problems for them. We want to make sure that you're encouraging healthy eating choices and healthy choices all the way around, whether it's working out, all of those different extracurricular opportunities that we're encouraging students to make healthy choices. Eating in Bentley is going to be very different than eating at home. You know, at home maybe you're used to having a plate that's given to you that has, you know, a meat, starch, and a vegetable. Every night. Well, you're going to have your own choices here at Bentley, and they're not always, you know, you could eat French fries every day for every meal if you really wanted to, but that may not be the best choice for your health. One of the big things that I heard from a lot of students this past year is that they would really love it if their support from home checked in with them more, especially within the first few weeks, first few days of them transitioning here. The transition from home to living at Lock Haven is a big deal, and I think students are not necessarily going to reach out to their support people, but if their support can reach out a little bit more and check in, that would be good. Several students said it would have been good to have cooking lessons previously before they got to school. Obviously, Bentley provides all of the necessary dining options, but some students still want to be able to cook a little bit in each hall, and each hall has their own kitchen that students can utilize. Encouraging your students to make sure that they're expanding their comfort level. Reach out, maybe find something that you didn't do before, and really encouraging that. And then the occasional care package or card was stressed a lot. And even just, again, that check-in, that we miss you, those kind of sentiments go a long way with your student, and feeling really supported from home. And that's what we've got for you today. If you have any questions for Chris or myself or Johnny as a resident assistant, we're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Feel free to put those questions in the chat. Feel free to unmute yourself if you do have a question you're willing to ask out loud. If not, our staff will read it to Emmy or Chris if you do want to type it into the chat, and we can answer for everyone.
Just in case you didn't see the chat, I just wanted to let you know that all of the information that Chris presented on what to pack and what not to pack is available on the housing website. It's a very exhaustive list, so that way you know what you need to bring and what you don't need to bring. And then, like Chris said, if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out either to any of the individual hall directors or to the housing office.
And as we wait for any questions that folks may have, we will hang out in the room for a few more minutes after the end of the presentation in case anybody does have any questions. But some gentle reminders about orientation the rest of the summer. Remember that these sessions are going to occur all summer, these Thursday lunch breaks, with some special topics spread into the schedule as well. Both the main orientation and these Haven Experience lunch breaks and special topics, both the schedules have been updated in the last 2 days. So if you haven't looked at the schedule in a little bit, make sure you go and check out some updates to the schedule, some more information on both schedules. There were 6 dates to choose from for the main summer orientation sessions. We are down to 5. 6/23, the first date, closed out last week and reached its max capacity. And we are very close to closing out on the second date, 6/25, as well. So if you have not yet registered for your orientation session, I encourage you to go in there and do so. It is likely that that second day will close out as well. And the third date, beginning the second week, is also getting closer to being filled. So if you're interested in any of those dates, I encourage you to go and register as soon as we're done here to make sure you get the date that you want. We will be launching the online portion of orientation as well directly after the first 5 orientation sessions. We have a goal of being live by 7:10. I'm hoping that we will beat that by a few days. But this is a supplement to the live orientation sessions that you will see, and it will be open the remainder of the summer until we start. It'll be a guided tour through LHU. As you move through modules, it will save as you move through it, and you'll be able to proceed at your own pace through that. So that's an update on orientation. And if nobody has any questions, that will conclude our presentation today. We hope to see you again on these lunch breaks. Many thanks to Emmy and Chris for their wonderful presentation, to my students in the room. If you have any questions, like I said, the staff will stick around in this room for 3 or 4 minutes after the end of the presentation. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day.